I mean, I'm surprised that y'all talked 2 weeks before. This, to me, I'm like, okay, there must have been some tension leading up to it. Like, y'all must have been on bad terms, something. One last question. If he were to call you up and say, yo, let's work it out, would you do it?
I don't want to talk to that nigga.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to that nigga, like, you know. Like.
Yo, what's good, fam? We're back at it again. And listen to this. Today, we're diving head first into some deep Louisiana street politics that most people still don't fully understand. No cap, this one's heavy. Y'all remember when NBA YoungBoy dropped that track called Nussie and the entire state of Louisiana instantly lost its mind? Hold up, because this story goes way deeper than just a song. This isn't music beef. This is decades of street tension, murder accusations, and two Baton Rouge legends who went from blood ties to cold enemies almost overnight. When Yah-B said Nussie on that record, he wasn't casually name-dropping. He cracked open a wound Boosie thought was buried for life. We're talking about a murder case that nearly put Boosie on death row, a feared street figure who was executed, and a city that's been split down the middle ever since. This type of move changes everything, gang. To really understand how it reached this point, we gotta rewind all the way back, for real. NBA YoungBoy and Boosie both come straight out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but their relationship has always been more complicated than people realize. See, Baton Rouge isn't a huge city. We're talking roughly 220,000 people. So when two superstars rise from the same place, their paths are guaranteed to collide. Boosie had Baton Rouge on lock since the early 2000s. He was already stamped as a legend, while YoungBoy was still a kid running through the neighborhood. We're talking Lil Boosie linking with Webby, dropping classics and shaping the sound, while Yah-B was still in elementary school. But here's the thing about Baton Rouge. It's divided. North BR, South BR, different wards, different politics, and they don't always get along. Boosie comes from the South Side, specifically the bottom. YoungBoy reps the North. That might sound small to outsiders, but in street politics, that difference carries serious weight. When YoungBoy started buzzing around 2015 and 2016, Boosie was already cemented. At first, it was all respect. Boosie recognized talent. YoungBoy showed love to the OGs who paved the way. There was no beef early on. Matter of fact, they were cool. But here's where things started shifting. The first cracks didn't come from direct disses. They came from respect, or the lack of it. YoungBoy's rise was fast, like faster than anyone expected. His YouTube numbers exploded. His street credibility felt authentic. Labels started circling. But with success came ego, and some folks felt Yah-B wasn't showing enough respect to the legends before him. Boosie started feeling away when songs weren't getting cleared, and Louisiana love felt one-sided. In an interview, Boosie explained it himself. He talked about clearing records, helping artists move freely, and opening doors. But when it came to YoungBoy, something changed. Maybe label politics, maybe personal feelings, but the mutual respect wasn't there anymore. That's when subliminal shots started flying. Boosie felt disrespected, and when you disrespect a Louisiana legend, consequences follow. The street split. You were either Team Boosie or Team Yah-B, and that divide has been tearing Baton Rouge apart ever since. At the height of the tension, Boosie didn't hold back. He openly said Yah-B was moving wrong and skipping protocol. From his perspective, he'd built Louisiana hip-hop brick by brick, and the new generation wasn't showing gratitude. The beef escalated when songs started sounding personal. Bars felt targeted. Responses came back subtle but clear. Fans loved it. The streets didn't. Boosie felt YoungBoy needed guidance, not reckless movement. He thought the young cat needed to be checked. But here's what shocked everyone. They actually squashed it for a moment. There was a legendary phone call. Kevin Gates, Fredo Bang, Boosie, NBA YoungBoy, all on one line. This wasn't a regular conversation. This was Louisiana royalty trying to end the drama. That call came at a dark time for Boosie. Legal pressure, family stress, the fear of prison hang over his head. He admitted he needed that call. For a brief moment, unity felt possible again. Talk of a joint tape surfaced. Fans were hopeful. The city breathed. Gates played peacemaker like always. Fredo had family ties pushing for peace. But here's some real tea people ignore. Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, is a huge Yabi fan. No exaggeration, he plays Yabi non-stop, and that probably mattered. Imagine beefing with your son's favorite rapper. That hits different. Family shifts perspective. Tootie Raw represents a generation that wants unity, not war. That influence was real. Now, let me keep it real with you, fam. Boosie knows better than to truly go to war with Yabi. Not out of fear, but wisdom. Yabi carries a different energy. The streets recognize it. His life isn't rap cosplay. Shootouts, arrests, loss, pain, it's all real. Boosie survived murder charges and federal heat. Why risk everything now? He's older, he's built, he's got a legacy to protect. Sometimes falling back is strength, and Boosie understood that. But don't get it twisted. He's no punk. He just picks his battles. And then everything blew up again. Yabi dropped Nussie, and the city went insane. Nussie wasn't just a name. He was a Baton Rouge street legend murdered in 2009, and Boosie was once charged with ordering that hit, a case that nearly ended his life. So for Yabi to title a song that way, right after peace, felt intentional, either reckless or calculated. Christopher Nussie Jackson wasn't random. He was respected, feared, connected, money, power, influence. When he was executed execution style, the streets whispered Boosie's name immediately. The feds built their case around Marlo Mike, a teenage hitman. They said Boosie paid $30,000 for the hit. The death penalty is on the table. But Marlo Mike later recanted. Boosie beat the case, legally cleared. But street rumors never die. That's why Nussie hit so hard. It reopened everything. Boosie's response wasn't rage, it was hurt. He spoke on not dissing the dead, on betrayal, on boundaries being crossed. You could hear the pain. This wasn't rap beef, this was personal. That song killed any chance of unity. The wound was reopened, no going back. This situation shows how deep street politics run, especially when legends share a city. They should be building together. Instead, pride and pain took over. And let's be honest, this story isn't finished. Yabi doesn't care about consequences. Boosie won't accept disrespect. Something tells me more chapters are coming. Louisiana is big enough for both, but ego makes peace hard. Y'all let me know what you think. Was Yabi wrong for dropping Nussie? Should Boosie have responded differently? Do you think they'll ever be cool again? Drop your thoughts. Subscribe for more real breakdowns. I'ma keep bringing the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it gets.